Welcome back, everybody. This is Tyler Weeb from Pro Physique, and today we're going to talk about refeeds. What are they? Why do we do them? So, I had this question asked to me by a client the other day. Is a refeed day just a day where I can go out and eat whatever I want? Because that's what I did. And I can see where that thought process went. I mean, you kind of see refeed, you correlate it with cheat day, where you don't track everything or anything, and you just kind of gorge yourself because you've been tracking diligently and maybe not eating a lot depending on where your macros are at throughout the week. And so you see that and you correlate, okay, cheat day, because cheat days are just so prevalent out there. Everyone kind of knows what a cheat day is, and maybe it's just another word for cheat day. So unfortunately, no, that is not what a refeed day is. It is not a cheat day. It is not a don't track anything, just go crazy binge day. Okay, we want to avoid those days as much as possible. A refeed day is a day that is still calculated. You still track everything, but the percentages or the ratios of the macronutrients has changed a little bit. So what we have done is we have dropped our protein, and we have upped our carbs, and we usually keep fats in right around the same. We don't really change those fats too much because we still want to make sure that we're still getting good digestion. Fats will help with that. So typically we drop our protein to just a lower level, maybe 0.8, 1.0, depending on kind of where your protein is at. And then we will apply that into our carbs, maybe even a little bit more. We don't want to go so high where, we are going completely crazy. And I mean, it's going to be impossible to put on fat, but we still don't want to go very high with our carbs. But it's a day of just being able to have that psychological break while we are dieting. So typically these are only done once calories are starting to get lower, because when we are reversing, calories are typically going up, and we are getting typically enough food at a certain point where we don't need the day of the extra calories or the extra carbs to kind of give us that break. So when we are dieting, we typically manipulate carbs. Those are the easiest one. I mean, we do fats as well, but carbs is just very easy to take away. So obviously, a lot of yummy foods, or most foods, are going to have quite a bit of carbs in them. And so when we start getting a lower carb, we start to get a little crankier. We start to, crave foods. And so this is just a refeed day is just a very good psychological break to give you those extra carbs, to just kind of, take a break from dieting for the day. I mean, even though you still are dieting, get that extra food in you, maybe have that, treat that you've been craving, and just get that nice little break from dieting, because dieting can be hard on the mind. So that's one reason that we do them. Another reason that we do them is physiological reasons as well. So as we diet, certain hormones do change, and typically not for the better. They kind of fights us while we are dieting. So this just helps. The refeed day is to just help stabilize those hormones, as well as just to give us, a really good training session as well. Just to kind of refill the muscles with glycogen, to, get a nice pump, just to feel maybe good for the day if you've been feeling really crappy, if your calories, or if your calories have gotten really low lately. So you just kind of get that physiological break as well from dieting, that, our certain hormones are just dropping, and the increase in carbs that day, food that day, can kind of give you a nice little spike in those hormones that can help further along the dieting process. So as much as we would like it to be, it is not a full day of just not tracking your food, and it is still, being on point with your diet, being on point with your macros, but just giving you that psychological and physiological break. And now these can be done in one or 2 days consecutively, or even spread out over the week, depending on how the body responds. So typically we start off with 1, but sometimes that just isn't enough for the body, or to give the body a break. And so what we can do is we can actually add in a second consecutive day where you get the 2 days of a refeed day, and you're really getting those nice higher carb numbers for 2 days in a row, really filling out the body, kind of giving that body the break from the dieting phase, which can be hard on the body. The longer that you go on, the less food that you have. So that is what a refeed day. It is not a cheat day, unfortunately. It would be probably nice if it was, and we could get away with just going absolutely crazy for a day or two. But that is not the case. We want those calories to stay at maintenance level or a little below, nothing higher than that during a dieting phase. And then as we come out of the dieting phase and we start reversing, we slowly, start to get rid of that as the calories get higher. So that is what refeed days are, and that is why we use the refeed day. If you have any question, guys, just leave it down below. Please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and have a great day.